Good afternoon, my friends. I welcome you to another edition of Mentoring Masterclass. Today, I will be looking at a very important topic that affects so many of us: the dynamics of lies. When I say lies, I mean telling lies, the dynamics of lies. For many people, telling lies is innate, a habit they cannot do without. It happens to them naturally, like a reflex action, a God-given talent. Some people don't even know they tell lies anymore. They speak, and what comes out is a lie. If they say good morning, you better open the windows and check. It could be evening. Some wives cannot trust their husbands anymore, so also some husbands cannot trust their wives. Gradually, their children inherit this habit. It becomes a curse in the family. I welcome you to Mentoring Masterclass. I am Bola Adewara. Today, I am commencing a series of 5 lectures on lies. The first lecture today will be 10 types of lies. The next lecture will be how do people tell lies, or why do people tell lies? The third one will be how to know when someone is lying. The fourth lecture will be terrible consequences of telling lies. And the fifth lecture will be how to stop telling lies. Please, if you know those people who have found themselves out and desire to cure themselves of this cause, God has sent me today to help them with this lecture. Also, if you know anyone who is a habitual liar, could be your son, your daughter, your husband, wife, sister, brother, church or mosque member, kindly send this link to them when I eventually put it on YouTube. Now, what is a lie? Who is a liar? A lie is a false assertion, an argument typically used to deceive someone to create a false or misleading impression to achieve a purpose. All deception is based on the idea that you seek to manipulate others to believe things you do not, or things that are not correct. The practice of communicating lies is called lying, and a person who speaks a lie is called a liar. There are various classes of lies, but before we go into that, let us check why people tell lies. What trigger lie telling? Reason for telling lies are many and complicated. The lie might be to avoid embarrassment, to hide an awkward situation, or to have others think better of the person telling the fibs. Sometimes it is to protect the liar or someone else from punishment. All in all, the world agrees that telling lie is a negative behavior, because to the person being lied to and to the very liar, lying is actually detrimental in the long and in the short run. Lying is strongly discouraged and forbidden by most religions of the world. I am a Christian. And what does the Bible say about lying? In Psalm 5 verse 6, yes, Psalm 5 verse 6, it says, "You shall destroy those who speak falsehood. The Lord abhors the bloodthirsty and deceitful man." In Proverbs chapter 19 verse 9, it says, "A false witness will not go unpunished, and he who speaks lies shall perish." He who speaks lies shall perish. In John chapter 8 verse 44, that is where God refers to devil as the father of all lies, meaning that if you are a liar, the devil is your father. Now, let's look at Proverbs. The proverb, that is the aphorism, what we say in different cultures. I am a Yoruba man from the southwestern part of Nigeria. My culture has a saying about liars. It says, whoever tell lies will steal. If I said this in Yoruba language, you say, Eni paro ajali. In other words, a liar is also a thief. But I want to differ somehow. Let me inform you that liars are worse than thieves or murderers. You know a thief will steal something. You know a murderer is a killer. But you don't even know where you stand with a liar. There are over 2,000 proverbs from different cultures of the world that I have gathered. I will be discussing them with you when we get to that lecture. That's lecture 4, the terrible consequences of lying. Keep a date, my brother and sisters. Now, let us look at the classifications of lies. It might be surprising, but interesting to know that lies have classification. Not all lies are the same, but all lies have negative consequences. The classifications of lies explain why people tell lies or the situation they found themselves in which forced them to tell lies. The first type of lies, the white lies. I'm sure every one of you hear that word, they will say, oh, that's a white lie, that's a white lie. But do people actually understand what white lies is what about? White lie is a lie told to avoid or to reduce the weight of truth on a person, to avoid hurting the person's feeling. This lies is often told as a way of it's also seen as a kind of harmless. It's seen as very harmless or trivial. An example is when someone dresses and asks the person there, look, how do I look like? Tell me, how do I look like? And then the person says, oh, you are looking very good. You are looking very cute. When the person is actually not looking fantastic. Most parents do this to get their children to love what they bought when they cannot provide something better. You can imagine parents, they will bring it up and they say, oh, this thing is very good. You will love it. After a while, the person being lied to could get a conflicting opinion from others, making the first speaker lose credibility and be dismissed as an insincere person. White lies are not far from flattery. Flattery is one of the most subtle form of deceit. To compliment excessively and often insincerely. That's what we call flattery. Number 2, what we call the bold-faced lie. You know, we hear in the part of the world, you have people say, oh, no, don't bold-face. That's a bold-faced lie. What do we call bold-faced lie? Bold-faced lie is also called the bald-faced lie or a bare-faced lie. It is also called a blatant lie. The term refers to an obvious, shameless lie that a liar makes little or no effort to disguise as the truth. The lies are common with children, but it is just plain annoying when an adult does it. Here, the liar says something everyone knows is false, but stand by it as the truth, regardless of how blatant the lie is. People tend to resent bold-faced liars because of how belittling time and intelligence it is. For example, a child is caught red-handed, maybe eating cookies or eating biscuits, doing something wrong. Rather than apologize, the child will hold the thing backwards and say, no, I'm not eating biscuit. Meanwhile, there are telltales of biscuit all over his mouth. Another example, a husband is caught by his wife caressing the housemaid in the kitchen. Rather than own up, he denies that there is no affair between them. Bold-faced lies often lead some aggrieved parties into harsh decisions like divorce or unforgiveness. The third type of lie is called the exaggerated lies. Lies of exaggeration are embellishments used when people try to explain things. Here, the truth is usually mixed with untruth to make the liar look impressive to others. I mean, there are times you see people telling you that, oh, I went there, I lay hands on him, and the person was healed. He stood up immediately and he started walking. Meanwhile, it didn't happen that way. I'm not saying pastors, some of these pastors are liars, but we have seen so many of them telling lies about the testimony. I mean, telling lies of testimonies and things that they said they did somewhere. Meanwhile, it did not happen that way. Such lies do not last long because they are soon busted. Unfortunately, the exaggerator remains in his life for a long time and begins to think he will never be shattered. Number 4, deceptive lies. A deceptive lie is where the deceiver creates a false impression of truth, either by not telling all the facts or misleadingly recounting the points. It is pretty impressive, actually, and unfortunately, people tend to believe these lies. The type of lie is common on the Nigerian end of social media or Facebook. I will give you 2 examples. A man who wears red and black clothes all the time is now being painted as a cultist, because cultists are often seen in black clothes and stuff like that. People suffering from disabilities are often painted as useless for life. It is not true. There are many blind people on earth doing beautifully well. For instance, look at Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder. These people were blind and yet they did very well. Not every blind man is useless for life. There was a man who was ill at a time, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the American president around 1932 or so. This man, for the better part of his presidency, he was on the wheelchair. And yet, he is one of the most remembered presidents America ever had today. So many people have disabilities, and yet they excel in sports. The fact that they are disabled does not mean they will be unable for life. That is what we call deceptive lies. Number 5, compulsive lies. Another name for compulsive lie is pathological lies, or a compulsive liar is called a pathological liar. Here, the liar is incapable of speaking the truth. He finds it easy to avoid confrontation with the truth. Hence, he sticks to telling lies. To be labeled a pathological liar, a person must lie frequently and for no reason. He lies even when there is no reason to tell lies. He must speak when he does not even have any reason to speak. And when he speaks, he manufactures fibs. These liars tell lies even when telling truth will be easier and better for them. What matters most is the attention the liars will be given. Compulsive liars typically find it difficult to stop lying as it is more of an addiction. Compulsive liars, also called pathological liars, harm themselves with this behavior, but they keep doing it because they cannot help themselves. Sometimes they may or may not experience mental disorder. Some people feel maybe pathological liars have mental disorder. It is not actually true most times. These lies are either caused by low self-esteem or the need for attention or lack of self-control. Compulsive lying is usually thought to develop very early in the life of children due to being placed in an environment where lying was necessary and a routine. For instance, where the children know that daddy will beat me, mommy will beat me, my oga will beat me, that child will be conditioned to tell lies. Parents, watch how you discipline your children. Number 6, lies of fabrication. Fabrication is a lie told when you submit a statement as truth without knowing whether it is true or not. although the information may be positive or plausible, it is not based on fact. Instead, it is something made up or misrepresentation of the truth, triggered by a situation that makes it look like true. Gossip blogs are fond of this. In the Nigerian social media space, you see, up Nepal, Nigeria, God will touch this country. Anyway, let's go on. I'm sure you can see me. All right. Gossip blogs are fond of this. In Nigerian social media space, many bloggers do this to damage celebrities who will not give them money, or maybe the people who are their political opponents, who are not their choices. In some situations, these liars impose the picture of their victim on the body frame of another person who is committing a kind of immorality or crime, such that every reader will think the celebrity is the offender. Number 7, duplicitous lies. Duplicitous lies. Duplicitous lie come from the Latin word called twofold or double. And this is why we call these liars two-faced people. They lie about who they are. They lie to other people about their values, just as they lie about facts. They lie too much. Lying about values can be more corrosive to relationship than lying about facts. They say they are committed to being someone or doing something, but their actions is otherwise. They make promises and commitments and break it. Duplicitous liars lie typically, hide their true self or their true feelings and intentions behind false action and words. Unfortunately, they are pretty difficult to identify. So that's one of those things, that when a man states a commitment to be faithful or being helpful or loving, he positions himself as a kind of person now and in the future that is helpful. So people tend to count on him until they are disappointed. Duplicitous liars are people who are most difficult on earth, very difficult people on the planet Earth. You cannot count on them for anything, yet they pose to be worthy of being relied upon. There are many of such people in the church. They want to be recognized and be reckoned with, yet they are not ready for the responsibilities. Duplicitous liars are often called demoralized liars. Those who lie to themselves about their values, they want to see themselves as more diligent, honest, and trustworthy than they really are. Duplicitous liars are demoralized liars. Number 8, lies of influence or lies of character lies. Sometimes people will tell you something utterly unrelated to the truth to cover up a lie. This is what is called a character lie or a lie of influence. These lies are meant to make you believe the liar or to make the liar seem such a great person that they are unlikely to be suspected of lying. Example, the liar has an earlier commitment to attend a meeting somewhere, but he couldn't make it. Now, rather than own up, he will come up and start manufacturing some fibs that, there was an accident on the road. When I got there, there was a long traffic, and that's why I came back home. These are things we call lies of influence or character lies. Number 9, delusional liars. This is also called self-deceit, a situation where an individual constantly deceives himself, thinking about himself beyond what he is actually. It is not about lying to the other people now, but to himself. There is a difference between the two things. You know, he sees himself as very great. Meanwhile, he is not. It can be akin to a mental issue. A self-delusional liar tends to do this to justify himself and clears up feelings of guilt. He will tell himself that his sharp response to someone wasn't impolite. He responded to you very badly. He shouted on you or something like that. But to him, oh, it's beautiful. What I've just done is beautiful. He's doing that just to clear his sense of guilt. He's doing that to clear his sense of guilt. These people lie to themselves. They distort facts in their heads. This happens when they come or when they want to reconcile contradictory beliefs or position in their lives. They want to be the best, but they don't have what it takes to be the best. Rather than strive to be, they create false comfort zone for themselves. A kind of excuse that they are, after all, doing well. Sometimes our religious beliefs or our religious attitude in the church could be called a delusional lie or so. A man who is not doing well in life will say, well, after all, it will soon come to an end. I'm going to heaven where there is happiness. There is nowhere in the Bible that says that you cannot be happy on planet Earth. In his novel, there's a novel I read here, The Brother Karamazov by Dostoevsky. He says, above all, don't lie to yourself. The man who lies to himself and listens to his own lie comes to the point that he cannot distinguish the truth within him or around him, and so loses all respect for himself and to others. Number 10. This is not just a straight lie, but different types of modes of lies. The 6 colors of lies. There are 6 types of lies that can be characterized by naming them with 6 colors. Gray lie, white lie, black lie, red lie, yellow lie, and pink lie. Now, let me tell you when we say this is a yellow lie, I'm sure many of you have heard of white lies, but let me tell you what a yellow lie is all about. A yellow lie is a lie that is necessary to save someone's life. Yellow lies can only be done if you know the person you are lying to. In this part of the world, old people, especially parents, are often restricted from knowing the truth about their children's death. There's a woman that I used to know in Ilorin. That woman, she was about 80 years old, and the only daughter she has died in a motor accident. The friends of the dead came together and he said that, look, don't tell the mother because the mother could die of shock. And for the next 10 years, the mother lived on earth. The mother did not know that her daughter was dead. All they told her was that the daughter is in a country where there is no telephone. You know, the mother is an illiterate woman who believed, because the friends and the daughter of the dead always supplied the mother all that she needed. And sometimes someone will call and say, oh, I saw your daughter in this country. She told me to greet you that don't worry, mommy, I will soon come back home. 10 years after, up to the time the mother died, she never knew that her daughter was dead. This is what we call yellow lie. Why? The lie was told so that mother will not die of shock. The second one, pink lie. This is a lie not considered criminal or falsehood rendered understandable. You see, the lie is considered not criminal. Also, is a kind of falsehood that is understandable. forgivable, excusable, or praiseworthy by its motive. I wish to advance to you that a pink lie is uncontrollably or unconsciously untrue lie, but it is not blameworthy. I will give you an example. A father wanted to pull his son out of the university because the boy was not doing well. And the matter got to one of the lecturers. And the lecturer told the dad, who told you your son is not doing well? Who told you your son is not doing well? It's a lie. That was the wrong information. The father said, but your school told me. He said, no, the school was wrong. This boy was doing well. I can tell you for free that this boy was doing well. Do you know what the lecturer did? The lecturer knew that he would bring the boy under his care and he will fire the boy to become very good. And that was what happened. After some years, this boy became very good academically. And later they all went to the father. He confessed to the father, when I told you that time that your son was doing well, he was actually doing badly. But I knew that he would turn out very well if I tried to do something with him. And that is what happened. The child became a very great guy. The next one is called a blue lie. A blue lie is a form of lying told purportedly to benefit a collective or in the name of the collective good. The origin of the term blue lie is possibly from cases where police officers made false statements to protect the police force or to ensure the success of a legal claim against an accused person. They adduced different statements or called different false witnesses to ensure that they got an offender convicted. That's what we call a blue lie. The gray lie, where gray lie is said to be consistent when an ambiguous lie or held the characteristics of an actual lie, yet it is still viewed as justifiable given the circumstances. An example is a son schooling abroad whose mother passed on. He was not told that the mother died, so he could concentrate on his study. It was a lie, but with a good intention. The final one, a black lie. The black lie is sometimes considered the worst kind of lie. It is defined as callous selfishness and malevolence. It is a deliberate lie of distortion and misrepresentation of facts. The only purpose is to get oneself benefit. Let me give you an example of a black lie. I am sure you have seen people in churches. They will come to the pastor and say, Pastor, my daddy is dead, my mommy is dead. Meanwhile, it's a lie. This guy is telling this truth all because he just wants favor from the pastor. We have seen situations where some women will claim to be widows in churches. But meanwhile, they are not widows. Their husbands are somewhere. They claim to be widows just because they want the church to place them on a kind of allowance every month. Some could approach you on the street and instantly start weaving stories of how they are ill, of how they've been to the hospital, of this, of that. Some of them could even bandage their arms and claim they have issues. Meanwhile, there is nothing wrong with them. These are people we call black liars, swindlers. I'm sure you have gained something today. And please, pardon me for this power failure. We can only pray that Nigeria will be better someday. And it will be better. I hope you have your PVC. Please vote your conscience. And may the Lord bless every one of us. This country will be better. It will be better. Next week, we're going to look at the second dimension of the dynamics of telling lies. Keep a date with me on Wednesday, and may the Lord bless you. Thank you.